Yeah.
Practice right now.
I've been chasing all my dreams, failing isn't meant for me. Fuck all of this foolery, this shit be my destiny. The closest ones ignore your cries, guess the sun don't always shine. Least I know I always tried, nothing happens overnight. I've been chasing all my dreams, failing isn't meant for me. Fuck all of this foolery, this shit be my destiny. The closest ones ignore your cries, guess the sun don't always shine. Least I know I always tried, nothing happens overnight. I do my dance.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Miner. This is the Dream Chasers podcast, and with me for episode 12, I have Academy Bowler Extraordinaire, QUINCY, ACHAR.
Hi guys, my name is Quincy from Shofko FC. Happy to be here.
Pressure was on, my guy. Even back then, I was a bit more chubby and bigger, so
Yeah.
I was given the role of centre back, even me. But I used to like drifting forward and taking set pieces, just like I do even now. It started back then because me, I'm seeing this coach of mine has put me back here. I don't want to go head the ball. Sawa. Can I bring the cross? Sawa. Can I bring the free kick? Sawa. So all the chances I'd take to go forward, because I was I still am an attacking minded player. It's not a secret. It's not.
Defending has never been your thing.
When you're a both-footed attacking player, defending is. So for me, okay, I was a defender when I had the body, because I used to just body check everyone and just.
So when you stop defending, you checked out completely. Yeah.
No, I still can't defend. I still can't chase the ball. It's just that I'm not as passionate for that. Me, I'm passionate for me to come short. You give me the ball, I take on the man, I move on. Because you see the football today, wingers are bringing the ball back too much. What happened to Joga Bonito, man? Take this man, let him touch that grass, that fullback. But you see, even that itself comes with its own problems, because the injuries you get, wow. That is why I choose not to be a speedy winger. It's not that I can't get the form. I don't have the pace, but pace is something you can get if you have the power to run. I prefer to cut inside rather than overlap, because if I cut inside, I can shoot from far, which is where my advantage is at. But now you see, in moments of the game, no one cares about whether you want to shoot from far. This guy wants to demolish you, not even get the ball.
Whether
from
you're at the center, whether you're in their box. Yeah.
I'll bring a friend of mine called Sean, who we played with in high school. He'll explain to you how they used to just let me run. These people in high school were the tactics we used to play for high school football were actually like ahead of our time, because he was explaining to me that their team, yes, they had talent, but they saw that our team was the stronger one. So what did they do? They leaned into our egos and then made us feel like we're the superstars. And then they just hit us. Then by the time you're realizing you're 2-3-0 down, coach is telling me to get back on the pitch. Najishika tu miguu hivi, I'm like, guy, chapo imeenda hivyo.
High school rival.
Hiyo wiki you would not say shit. Hata classmate hakuna, maoni yako is kama mani ukipigwa 7-0 na Liverpool. Nilikuwa nimekaa kando ya Sean. Naenda kwenda hivi dom, naambiwa boss, where you going? Si tulikuja kuona game. Si wewe mmeitisha kaa chini ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, ya nne. Martinez akafanywa miujiza ingine hapo na Sala. That is how my night ended. Hiyo wiki mzima, my opinions meant nothing. Kama sijiongea kwa darasa siongei anyway.
Tough times to be a Manchester United fan by
real.
Yeah. The banter was crazy.
Even now that Arsenal fans have won, we're in trouble, manze.
But at least we're not from, like back then we were in the pits, man.
Now, top 3 is
top 3 is decent.
Improvement. Let's come back to us now. Let's jump to...
We were in Shofko still, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shofko, how did I get to Shofko? Mind you, before I went, I never even knew there was an organization called Shofko. And it's a thing that I've also noticed about, like, maybe life in general. Your next opportunity, your next connection, you might not even know about it. You might not know the person, you might not know the organization, And that's the beauty about the game. You never know who is watching. So in context with that, we were at a tournament called Kotem Tournament. It's played out in Ngong Stadium. So I was playing for a team called Waves. And we got to the semi-finals. But now, like, our run to the semis was a very proper run because guys were maybe going to penalties, maybe 1-0, 2-0. But us 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Because I remember the game before we won 4-0, and I remember that game I put in a proper shift, like in the midfield,
cutting all the passing
anchor
lanes.
bro. I'm telling you, I put in a proper shift that day. I remember after the game, some guy just came to me and he was like, would you like to play for my team? But he didn't even say the name. He just said my team. Then I asked him, what league are they playing in? He said, just Division 2. Then I said, okay, yeah, I definitely love the opportunity. But now we didn't exchange even contacts because, you know, the thrill of the moment, we've just won. The fans they're all up in your face. They're praising you. Yeah? So the next day, our Waves captain, Colin Sandeve, he gives me a call. And he tells me I've been to Ngong Stadium because there was another team that was playing. And there's a coach who came up to me and said he wants your number. So expect a call. But now I wasn't also too keen on it because then we also had Wolves on the side, you know. Yeah, so it was
the mighty Wolves.
5th September. 5th September at around 9 p.m. because it was at night. 9 p.m. I'm just chilling in my room. I get a call from a random number. So I pick up the phone, then the guy is like, ACHAR, am I speaking with ACHAR? I'm like, yeah, this is ACHAR. Then he tells me how they saw me at the tournament and they want me to come play for their team. That's like around that period was pre-season period. So he tells me if I could report to training the next day. Mind you, this is 9 p.m. In my head, I'm like, tomorrow training is with Wolves in the evening, so I'm not even ready for anything. So this guy tells me at 9 p.m. that we train at 6:30 a.m. every day. So if I'm to report, I have to be there so that we start by 6:30. So this was a whole turning point. Like
your
for
life
my,
just
for
went
my life, for my
upside down.
routines, for my that's when everything started having to change. So I remember I was very, should I say, skeptical about it. I was scared also by the, I don't even lie to you, I was scared. And yeah, maybe never lose opportunities in our life because of fear, by the way. Because I thought to myself, if I had stayed in my cocoon, you know, and said, I'm not going to do it, yeah, maybe I wouldn't have been enjoying what I'm enjoying at the moment with Shofco and with the experience that I'm getting. Because the best way to improve in football is to play the game. And with Shofco, I've gotten a very good platform to train every day, to play the game. So after a series of excuses, by the way, I just finally told the coach, Sawa, I'll come. Just where do you train? So
this is the same day.
Yeah, the same day.
So
the same call.
So you were giving him excuses on call.
Yeah. Then I told him, give me a moment. I think about it. So then I texted him again. Another excuse, Anto. But then finally something just told me, just go, man.
Risk.
Yeah, just go. And I remember the next day at around 5, my eyes just shot up, bro. That was my biggest sign that I had to go, bro. Because I slept so late. So, like, I was like, if I wake up, I'll go. If I don't, bro, 5. My eyes just, I was like, we're going. So I took an Uber because I didn't know where that was then. So I took an Uber.
Rich kid. Boy, one be superstar.
It's just an Uber, man. Yeah. So I arrive at the training ground. I find them having already started the session, but I was late by like 10 minutes or so. That's another thing that I like about them. Like with time, we really try and hold our own with time. So I get to the training pitch. The guys are already there. And you know, the thing with pre-season, everyone is trying out. So yes, they'd be the first team, like the guys who are already there. But then there are guys who have been called to just come and try out. Yeah, exactly. So I was part of that group. But now, our Coach Ken, by the way, shout out Coach Ken. He had so much faith in me, by the way. That's another thing that like, there's I'm into reading, yeah? And like in one of the books I was reading, the guy says, if one of the people who is most trusted is the guy who delivers the goods. So I feel like that day that he came to watch us play in the tournament, he saw that, this guy
can deliver.
Yeah, so because I wasn't, yes, there was the trials group, but I wasn't considered one of them, because I remember that first day, like he already started telling me about the systems in place with Shofco, about how they run the team, salary expectations, how like just what goes on at Shofco as a team. And it really stood out with me, because for a Division 2 team to be that well organized, trust me, Anto, it's very, very rare, especially with regards to money. Hey, pesa.
Money runs Kenyan football, unfortunately.
Yeah, but now you see, Division 2 teams don't have the flow, like the cash flow that Shofco has. So, like, Shofco really takes care of their players and the staff as a whole. And that's what I love about Shofco. Because if you look into it, most Division 2 teams, players aren't getting paid. We get a monthly stipend.
Allowances.
Yeah. And we also get match day allowances.
Bonuses.
Yeah. So, like, a win, definitely higher bonus, a draw, and even a loss, we still get paid, but it's not as much. So, like it motivates you to win.
It does.
Because you want the maximum. Yeah, and so Coach Ken, I'd say Coach Ken, by the way, he's always believed in me since day one. And belief in your players as a coach, it's something that does wonders. Yeah,
it's crucial.
It's very, very crucial. And so pre-season has to do with a lot of running. Pre-season, by the way, pre-season for players.
Loading like crazy.
And I'm telling you, on my commutes back, bro, I would sleep in the matatu.
Because you're exhausted. Like
even once I passed Safari Park, bro, because I was so tired, bro. I woke up at TRM, I'm like, hey, Shukisha. I was tired and too, bro. But now, so like we did the pre-season, then now we did the signing. Then now you see the thing with being a new person in a team is you now have to get into the team.
They have to integrate you into the team.
Integrate. But I'm glad that I didn't have a hard time integrating, because in my my personality as a person, I really come alive when I'm in a footballing setup. Off the pitch, I might be a bit not too
reserved.
That's what I'm looking for. But once I get on the pitch, as in everything just opens.
Yeah, you'll know ACHAR is on the pitch. He's screaming 24/7.
Yeah. So befriending the new guys, it wasn't that hard, And I feel like with going to another social setting where, when you're in USI, it's you guy, my guy, But now it's in...
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Especially in that setup, you forget the English,
Yeah, because if you look up my first ever interview, Shofco, I did it in English, bro. And it's not that... Like, it was a very good watch, and at least I saw that I could speak on camera.
Public speaking is an important skill, especially for sports people. Many people tend to ignore it until you
get there
big, and then the media is all over in your face, cameras everywhere.
Then you're shocked. You're like, this is what comes with it. Yeah, so I'm having to adapt to that setting and knowing how to interact with those people. Yeah, it's also a skill that I'd say I'm not too bad at. Yeah, and I realized it
Smart
then.
choice of words.
Yeah,
Smart
and
choice
I realized it then, because it didn't take me too long. They welcomed me also so well. The team captain, it's called, we call him Didier because he's a Chelsea fan. And Drogba, Mr. Clutch moments, pulling up in finals, scoring goals, Yeah, so the guys, they've been really supportive up to this point. The coaches, Coach Ken, Coach Saidi. Coach Saidi is the drills he has.
Sharp guy.
Very sharp guy with the drills. Yeah, Coach Indeche. Just the whole playing unit. Yeah, the guys are very united. And what now I'm also loving, because when I was at Wolves, I feel like it gets to a point when you now have to accept that you have outgrown the level that you're at. This is not me looking down on my wolves.
Not you
guys,
immediately removing yourself from controversy.
Yeah. This is not me looking down on my guys. I love my wolves brothers, man. Taji, Mbiru, Raul, James, all of you guys. I love you guys so much, and they've shaped my journey up to where it is now.
Let's see if Raul behaves. We bring his cool kicks. if you behave, if you.
Yeah. So it got to a point where like you need to shift environments, you know?
Yeah, it reaches a point where you even as a person, it's not about even growth. It's about like you stepping out of your comfort zone more than anything else.
Yeah, because that's where growth happens there. Yeah, so and when I now got to Shofco, it was one of those where now you're no longer one of the best players in your team and you're having to fight for your position.
Prove, not even for a position, to prove that you know ball.
Exactly. Yeah, and because what happens with us is we train 4 times in a week. Training starts at 6:30 a.m. So I always have to be up by 4. I leave my place by 5 so that I can get to the training ground by the time we're starting. So as I told you, my routines had to change, bro. The time I'm sleeping at, because I used to be a night owl, a proper night owl.
Bidi siku hizi saa 3 inakupata kwa kitanda.
Like even if I'm not sleeping, I'm just on bed, maybe reading a book or just playing
just resting
my Kai football, by the way. You know, I'm a good.
Hey, you're a football gamer. Hey, you people need to touch grass, bana. We touch grass, bana. Kila saa tuma code. We wacha bana. We wacha.
Yeah, so my routines had to change, bro, and like with that change, it showed me that discipline is actually possible. Yeah, and so far, like in this journey of Shofco, we are currently 3rd in the league. Our goal is promotion because we've been in the Division 2 setup for so long, and that's one of the main reasons. Like that's one of the first things that our team manager is called Adan. He told us that we've signed you guys because we have a goal. We've been in this setup for too long, and we want to get out of here. And we believe that you guys can help us get out of here. So as I speak to you, Anto, we're currently 3rd. Number 1 is the famous Githurai All-Stars. Then number 2 is Desert Scorpions. Then it's us. But now they've played 2 more games than us. And we have, so like with the 2 games in hand, we just have to make sure that we win. Because if we win them, we go above all of them by 1 point.
So you become top of the table? Yeah,
then it's just to hold our own until the season ends. But our goal from the start of the season has always been promotion.
What's it like
in our camp?
Because we see it on TV. We see Man City to put all the caps in their walls and aiming for trebles and things. What's it like being in a team setup where, like, this shit is real? Like we want to get promoted now. What's it like, the journey across the season? You've talked a little about preseason and how crazy it is. But if you've played football to any level, even semi-professionally, it's wow. Pre-season was hell, even for me, especially when you're coming from holidays. You've been eating chips there like nothing.
5 kgs, you know. Yeah, so I'd say football is a performance-based sport. So if you're not performing, chances are you're not playing. And again, it's a competition. So until me and you, we might be fighting for a spot. And you know, competition entails, I want to be better than you. I want to start ahead of you. And when I'm starting, I don't want to go back to the bench.
No one wants to go from starting 11 to the bench.
So it's me holding my own. And how they gauge a striker won't be the same way they gauge an attacking midfielder, won't be the same way they gauge a central defensive midfielder. So like for me, for example, I'm gauged off of how well I'm protecting the back line, how well I'm defending, interceptions, tackles, you know, aerial duels. Yeah, so that's when we come to expectations, we also have there's a baseline of how all the players are paid, but then there's an incentive that's given to us as players based on training attendance, performance in like
your individual aspects.
Yeah.
So for you, it's what interceptions, duels.
that, because
For attackers, it's
Coach
chances
Saidi
created.
keeps a notebook, so he's always just, you see something, checks it out. You see something, writes it down. So like at the end of it all, he presents it to you and you're like, I can't even deny this, man. Yeah, so when you're getting paid, that's what they consider. Like they now go back to the register. Has this guy been consistent in training? Has he been performing in games? Has he been making it to the 18-man squad? Because we're about, I think when they signed us, we were like 25 players, but only 18 guys get called up to only 18 guys get to play for the team on a match day weekend. So you also have to be fighting to get into that 18. Because even when they're paying match day bonuses, it's that 18 only.
You can't get a bonus and you stayed at home. Football doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I'd say money is a big motivating factor. But I'd say until it pays to love the game. Because I can tell you for the first month of pre-season, nothing was coming out. Because it was still us trying to earn our spot in the team. So you're just showing up every day. Money is not, like they're not yet disbursing the funds. It's just you having to show up.
What's that like?
To show up.
Because the sacrifice is crazy.
Yeah, so if you don't love the game, you won't last the journey, walai. And I feel like it's you have to be passionate about what you do. And I feel like that goes for everything in life. Yeah, like ask yourself, if money wasn't involved, would you do it?
Fair point. I was doing some interviews somewhere and I said if money wasn't in the conversation, I'd still play football, regardless of how much my father would advise me not to do so. But forget about my father. But I'm still playing, am I not? So at the end of the day, it's your choice, to be honest. People will tell you a whole lot of things. Everyone will come up with their own advice, oh, do this, do that, nini. But at the end of the day, it is you to decide, do I play, do I not?
Yeah, because I remember even when I was signing to Shofco, one of my mates was just asking me, why are you going to a Division 2 team? And we've seen your level, you can definitely play higher than that. But I feel like there's a certain level of experience that I've gained even from this Division 2 setup that, yes, I would have gained it more maybe if I were in Division 1 or in the National Super League, but never be afraid to start small.
Tell Bevex you're coming.
Yeah, I definitely. By the shout out Bevex, by the way. The Equity have done a really, really, really impressive job.
Bevex has done a really crazy job. I've gotten a chance to see some of his highlights. That man knows ball. And then he's supposed to come teach me about ball, by the way. I'll call him. I'll give him a call one of these days. We bring him on. He tells us about Zambian football and all that.
And the National Super League. Yeah, but as I was saying, small beginnings, don't be afraid to, to start from somewhere. Because you always, Rome wasn't built in a day,
Fortunately.
Yeah, so never be the step by step by step. Because the one thing I like about the step by step approach, it builds character.
It does. Yeah. It gives you the strength to endure. Because if you're taken from 0 to 100, skipping that in between will make you think that you've gotten there, but when the challenges come in,
pride might creep in.
Yeah, and when that pride especially has crept in and then you start not playing as much, or maybe you get an injury, the headspace you can get into is crazy. Because sports takes a lot out of you, mentally, physically, emotionally, especially when you look at the mental side of the game. Because football is a game played in the head, but we use our legs to do what's going on in our head. So if you're not mentally there, that's why confidence plays such an important role, because to be confident means to be present. So if you're not present, if you're still doubting yourself, hata kama uko na fast touch, hata kama umecheza ball, I'm telling you this from experience. You've played in academy level, you've played football for the last 10 years. Unapoa ball inakugonga inatoka. You're like, hata wewe, you start getting mad at yourself. You're like, what's going on, man? But anyways, it happens to all of us. We have highs and lows when it comes to confidence. But now let me mention something interesting. You've mentioned the journey. Along your journey, you happen to be named MVP of the year at the USIU Gala Awards. What was that like in terms of the recognition for you as a player?
I feel like when when you get, like when you're doing something and you're pouring all your time, your heart into it, you always want... Yeah.
So Bevex had it coming for him. I think it was you, Bevex, and who else? Who are the nominees? Because I was there that night. And I saw you guys get nominated. And I was... Actually, I started playing for Wolves shortly after that because I was injured for majority of my first year. I got injured ice skating somewhere in Mombasa. Now you see, you can't come explain to the coach at so I was ice skating and then I sat on both my knees, ikafura. So you just relax, you wait for it to heal. But my confidence in terms of football, bro, you can't not play football and then you just show up and expect things to work out. It took a serious toll on me, but I mean, I survived. I'm here, am I not?
Yeah. So as I was saying, Anto, when you're pouring your heart out into something and you get that recognition, I feel like it motivates you to keep on going, by the way. And for me, that was one of those times, like when I felt, this thing is paying off. And it gave me a boost to keep on going, you know, because you've mentioned about the mental aspect of the game, and there's a side to it that no one sees. You, like after the spotlight is gone, when you're not with your boys, and when you've gone back to your room,
when the adrenaline has worn off completely,
and you're alone by yourself, and sometimes you find yourself questioning, because the number one thing I personally struggle with is doubt. In as much as I've made peace with the fact that I might never make it, until I'm telling you, I still fight doubt every day. Because there are days when I feel like I'm on top of the world, best footballer, Vitinha has nothing on me, you know?
Then there's days the opposite is true.
Days, bro, I'm asking myself, why am I playing this game even in the first place, you know? And now I've had to come to terms with the fact that it's in days when I'm feeling like nothing. Those are actually the days when I'm growing the most. Yeah, because we tend to shy away from adversity, from the negative side of things. But I feel like that's where we discover ourselves the most. So even with me, in the moments when I'm asking myself, ball, is it really worth it? Is it really? That's when I have now to remind myself, we've come so far, man. Giving up now would be, I feel like it would even be
productive.
It would even be a disgrace on the people who actually believe in me. You know, because in as much as I would like to say it's about me, but I know someone somewhere who has never even mentioned it, maybe who has come across my Instagram even, has just said, this guy is
baller, proper
he's
baller.
Putting in an effort. Maybe he might make it, and maybe he or she believes in me somewhere. And then the thought of just throwing it all away. Throwing away all the hours,
pain is
all
there,
the years.
We've all thought about it.
Yeah,
it's we've all had those conversations with our parents when they wanted us. There has gotten to a point in your life as a sportsman in general. This is not even about football, where you've had to have that conversation with your parents, and they're like, this thing you're doing is not worth it. And nobody understands. None of your friends, not your parents, not even the people who play with you understand how much the sport means to you. Because like me, it got to a point, as you were discussing earlier, football was my whole personality. And now, like, you have to remove yourself from football being your whole personality and do other things. And it was crazy. Yes, for me, I can say being what they call a so-called gifted child, I've been able to pick up and drop so many hobbies, so I can move in and out of things a lot, but football has stuck with me. And as I was explaining to you before we began this podcast, failure to play football is very bad for my mental health. Very bad. I don't know why. I don't know how. The minute I start having this other things going on in my life, at least, do you party, do you do this, do you become too lazy, my life just somehow, the only way I find peace is when I'll go back to the pitch. It's the way I've grown up. Maybe it's a coping mechanism I got from my young days, because even back then football was a big stress reliever for me. Even like after class, after all that academic pressure, I'm like, yes, finally, it's games time. Let's go play football, man. Like, it's been something that's been with me for my whole life, and unfortunately for me, it's not looking quite likely that I will sign a pro contract because of, life and other things that happen. But I still am a big fan of the game. I still am a big supporter of the game. I haven't played for the USIU team yet. Hopefully I will before I graduate, but as of now it's kidogo tricky. But coach, manze, fanya mambo, manze.
Yeah, but just to conclude on the MVP aspect, yeah, I definitely felt proud. It was a really good moment, and just like sharing it with my family. And
I was there even when they gave you the award. Your homeboys were screaming in the back.
Like in the WhatsApp group, like when I shared it there, and I remember my mom and my dad, like, like congratulating me, and
it meant a lot.
Yeah, it felt really nice, because for the longest time, for the duration that I've played ball, my mom has only seen me play football once.